The social here on talkSPORT 2 with me, Olly Clink, still reeling from my team Newcastle winning the League Cup. Have I mentioned it yet? Have I mentioned it enough today?
Oh, how many times, Ollie? You are milking this.
Yeah.
Is this going to go on till the end of the season?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Honestly, I'm going to call them League Cup winners Newcastle for the rest of the season.
Do you know what the irony is that had we won the League Cup, had Arsenal won the League Cup, you'd be saying, oh, well, you know, it's not the big one, is it? Who really cares about the Carabao Cup? Third-rate trophy. That's what you'd be saying. So, listen, I'll let you enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks.
As we established earlier, you've waited 70 years personally for this.
Personally? Now, listen, of course, your Arsenal were in action yesterday in the Premier League, still behind in the title race. Hey, it's never over till it's over, Harry. It's only 12 points. It's only 12 points. Could happen.
No, I'm not allowing myself to be sucked into this.
Liverpool having a wobble.
No.
It could happen. You
no,
never
not
know.
Happening. Forget it.
You never know.
Ship has sailed.
But it was a 1-0 win over Chelsea. You were at the game. We'll get into the game a bit later in the show. But there was interesting comments from your manager, Mikel Arteta, about Chelsea. Here's what he had to say.
And that's a big credit to the team because, in my opinion, they are the best attacking team in the league.
You said that they're the best attacking team in the league?
Yeah. In open play, yes.
Can you explain why?
By a mile. I mean, the stats say it, and everything that I've seen it say it. They can open you up, they can run in transition, they have individual quality. Any play in the defensive line can throw you in behind. They can combine on ball side, on weak side. And they are missing some big players as well at the moment. But, yeah.
Do you feel sort of next season they're going to be a sort of major threat?
Yeah, and I think they wouldn't have to play Thursday, Saturday, and the amount of injuries that they had as well. They were on the edge because of the manager that they have, that is really good, and the players and the squad, obviously, the quality that they have.
What do you think of that then? Mikel Arteta saying they are the best attacking team in the league by a mile.
Okay,
well.
so I was in on the radio interviews yesterday and he said the same thing, okay, but it wasn't really followed up. He said exactly that. They're the best one of the best attacking teams in the league, I think is what he said in the radio interviews. And I'm shocked by how much has been made of this. Honestly, I am. It feels like people are looking for something to have a go at Mikel Arteta about. What Mikel Arteta has done is carried out an extensive bit of research on Chelsea this season. Mm-hmm. And it ain't that long ago that people were sitting in places like this saying that they were title contenders. And obviously there's been a drop-off in the last couple of months and we've seen them struggle and we've seen them miss key players. If I'm going to sit here as an Arsenal fan and bemoan the fact that we've not had Saka, Martinelli, Havertz, etc., they didn't have Jackson, Madueke or Palmer yesterday, okay, which severely damages their attacking abilities. I think he's looked at things that we as fans would never look at. He's probably looked at final third entries. He's probably looked at the spaces they attack. He's looked at how many runs are being made from deeper positions like midfield beyond the forward line. He's looked at a whole set of metrics that you or I would never A, have the resource to look at and B, bother to look at, we're being honest.
Harry,
that's what it is.
I know that you've got all of those in a big spreadsheet, haven't you? You've got it in your little man cave. You go through
I'm a bit of a loser like that. Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that the picture that a Premier League manager builds up of an opposition is very different to the picture that we would build up. What do we look at? We look at number of goals scored, number of goals conceded, goal difference points.
Yeah, but
beyond
doesn't
that
show that you have a better attack than Chelsea, though? I mean, you know, the eye test only needs to tell you that Liverpool have a better attack than Chelsea. Man City, you could argue, have a better attack than Chelsea. I think Arsenal, when they are all fully fit, obviously not at the moment, you could even argue it's close, isn't it, between them and Chelsea?
Yeah, but Chelsea...
You know, if you've got Saka firing goals in...
Yeah, but...
You know, for him to say by a mile, I know he's looking at all these different other metrics and he's done extensive research. I understand that, but it's still a bit of a bizarre thing to say.
Yeah, okay, it's something that I would question and I should have pushed back on it yesterday, now that I think about it. Didn't really register in my mind.
What did you say and said? Oh, that's a great point, Mikel.
No, it wasn't my question. I asked him something completely different. I asked him something about Gabriel Martinelli and something, I can't remember what the other one was. Set pieces. Yeah. Thanks, Mikel. Please talk to me, Mikel.
But I've got a spreadsheet as well if you want to look at
it. But look, there's an element of him probably trying to fluff up the size of what Arsenal would achieve by beating Chelsea. And I think at a time where, all right, maybe not internally, but it feels like confidence around Arsenal's quite low. I feel like he needs to make the point that actually beating Chelsea was quite a significant result in the context of our season. The Premier League title's gone. We can agree on that, despite you trying to coax me into saying that it's still on.
It's over, mate.
It's over, it's done. It really, really is. But to finish second is vital for Arsenal now. They have to finish second. If they do, after what's been described by some as a disaster campaign, that shows you that their bottom line now is runners-up. That's a pretty good place to be. And 4 or 5 years ago, Arsenal were nowhere near that. So that highlights the progress, that even when things have gone so badly wrong over the course of a campaign, for reasons we won't get into now, you can still finish second is an achievement. And yesterday's result was significant in that, because you're now 9 points clear of Chelsea, you're 10 points clear of Manchester City, Nottingham Forest are 4 behind you, but of those 3 teams, they're probably the one you'd rather was chasing you down.
Obviously, the point people will make, though, is that you are runners-up by a long way.
Yeah,
right
fine.
now, obviously. You know, and it's interesting, you obviously made the quote marks there where you said disaster campaign. Yeah. That's clearly a word that you don't associate with this campaign. How would you rate it then? What is the word that you would use to describe it?
Underwhelming. Because I think that there was so much expectation going into the season. It felt like it was going to be our season. And I think you can get kind of sucked into the idea of progress always being linear, and it isn't. That's the truth of things. Sometimes, things go your way. Last season, injuries-wise, things went our way. This season, they haven't. This season, we've had injuries to key players at key points. Our right side, which has been our biggest weapon in recent years, has been completely decimated. If it wasn't Ben White out, it was Odegaard. If it wasn't Odegaard, it was Saka. And now you've got Odegaard sort of playing in that role, and he hasn't got Saka to his right, and he hasn't got Kai Havertz at centre forward. The 2 players that he combines with most are missing, and people are looking at him and going, what's happened there? Well, it's obvious what's happened there. So, yeah.
There were points were there sometimes when, especially when Saka went out through injury, where Odegaard would look up. You just almost see it in his face going, oh, where's he gone?
Yeah,
Where's he gone?
Like literally. And then you're bringing in a 17-year-old kid in Ethan Nwaneri to try and fill that position for now. And I don't want to be critical of him. I don't think you should even analyse his performances. It's so early for him. If you're going to say anything about Ethan Nwaneri, it should only be positive. That's how I look at it. He's been great. But it's different. It's a different threat to what Bukayo Saka brings you. And that causes a need to adjust and to adapt. And I don't think that Arsenal have done that maybe as well as they could have and should have. And so underwhelming is the word I'd use to describe it. But the thing that gives me confidence, and I think what Mikel Arteta is trying to do to a degree here as well, is that you can explain why we are where we are. If it was inexplicable, you've got a problem. The fact that you can point to a number of key injuries. I don't care what anyone says. People call me sad. People call me bitter. People call me a crybaby. The red cards have affected us badly. Badly. And I would argue that of the 5 we've had in the league, at least 3 of them were ridiculous. So all of that's had an impact. Now, because I've got those excuses, if you like, I can tolerate where we are. Without them, it's very, very different. And because of that, I've got confidence we'll be back stronger.
Yeah, you big crybaby. Just going back to the point about Chelsea.
Wow.
When you do look at your big spreadsheets that you get up in your little man cave and have a look at.
I'm going to take a picture of them tomorrow and send them to you.
Please do. I'm very interested. Who would you say does have the best attack in
Liverpool.
the Premier League?
Liverpool.
It has to be Liverpool, surely.
Yeah, because they've got...
Where would Chelsea actually rank for you?
When everybody's fit, I'd say probably...
Do they have a better attack than Newcastle?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because again, like Chelsea, if you look at the first 2/3 of the season, you'd say yeah. But then beyond that, there's been a significant drop-off. I think Chelsea are probably... I'd say it goes Liverpool in terms of individual players. Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal. And then I think you can make a case that Chelsea... are 4th because, okay, Newcastle have got Alexander Isak.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer's been incredible.
Yeah, it's true.
People have criticised him recently. Saka's best season in the Premier League goal return is 15. Palmer's on 14, I think, this season, and we're talking about him being terrible.
Ollie, I have. If you're interested, I have looked at some of my spreadsheets.
Here we go.
I've looked at some spreadsheets and I've worked out, and I listened very closely to what Mikel Arteta said in that press conference, and he made it very clear it's about open play. So I've looked at the open play XG for the Premier League.
Oh my word!
Now we're talking.
Open play XG in the Premier League. Anyone want to guess who number 1 is this season?
Sorry,
Open play XG. Open play XG.
I tell you what, they're not even. The second isn't even close to them. Liverpool are top with 58.
Wow.
Okay.
Second, to be fair, is Chelsea. They've got 46, but it's a bit more bunched up after that. Third, I don't think you'll guess who's third.
Tottenham.
No.
I reckon is it Nottingham Forest?
No.
Oh, is it not? Okay. Brighton?
Nope.
Bournemouth.
Villa?
Bournemouth are third with
good
45. They're not that far behind Chelsea. They always underachieve their XG, Bournemouth, because Antoine Semenyo keeps missing chances. Arsenal are a little way behind, actually. After Bournemouth, it is Manchester City. They've got 40, but kind of 44-ish as well. Arsenal fall back quite a way, actually. There's a bit of a pack behind them. Arsenal haven't even got 40 because a lot of their goals have come from
There you go. That's what Arteta was trying to say. Relative to my attack, this is one of the best attacks in the league. We've cracked it. Cheers, Keelan.
Oh, thanks, Keelan. And you can check out Keelan's spreadsheets on his social media. If you
I read an article this morning in The Guardian.
Great work. Some proper production as well there.
Love it.
Who wants Jeremy back? Let's keep Keelan, I reckon.